This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. Coming up, we've got a story on the McLeod Center. This is the 10th season of UNI athletics inside the McLeod Center, and Coach, some big crowds, a lot of sellouts. Right. Hard to compare this to what basketball was inside the Unidome.
Yeah, there's no question. And, we getting here 15 years ago, we spent my time as an assistant was in the Unidome, and we had some really good groups, and we started to fill that place up in the way it was set up, and we had some big crowds in there. But it's not, as everyone knows, it is completely night and day. I mean, this is college basketball. This is the way it's supposed to be played, and you want your fans, as many of them as possible, and in our case, almost all of them, right on top of the floor and close to it. And you think about some of the games that we have played in here, and some of the crowds that we have had. Boy, that's what we've always wanted. And when I say we, I mean, I'm going back to Mac and before Mac and Eldon and Coach Barry. I mean, that's what we have always wanted here, was an opportunity to have basketball played in this environment and in this arena. So, and a lot of people to be thanked, obviously. Too long a list for me to go through, but they know who they are, and they deserve a big thank you for getting that done.
Absolutely. Here's a look at the McLeod Center, 10 years here on the UNI campus.
Since the fall of 2006, Panther fans have witnessed some amazing moments in UNI athletics history. Many of those moments happened at home in the McLeod Center, a premier facility that's hosting its 10th season of Panther athletics. Once it opened, the McLeod Center became home to 3 sports, as women's basketball and volleyball moved from the West Gym and men's basketball left the Unidome.
Well, it's huge for men's basketball. It's one of, in my opinion, one of the best college arenas, for sure in the Midwest, if not in the country, because it's all one level. It's a great shooter's gym, but it's also a great gym because when it's packed, it gets extremely loud in here, as we found out last year for a number of games, in January and February. But from a recruiting standpoint, when you bring a kid in here, it's very easy for them to get a feel for what the arena is like, because it's not going to change. We don't have to pull things out. I mean, this is kind of what you see is what you get when you walk in here, and it gives you a great visual when you walk in, but I think the way you walk in on the floor and you're able just to look up and see everything that this embodies, I think it's helped us a ton.
The McLeod Center also benefits the entire Cedar Falls-Waterloo metro area. It's large enough to host major events like concerts, graduations, and many other special occasions. But its primary purpose is served when it's hosting UNI's athletic events.
I think the biggest thing for the McLeod Center is we kind of got to a point where we outgrew the West Gym in terms of fan support. We're very fortunate to pack the West Gym, but to be able to get more fans there and to be able to increase that was huge for us. And obviously, those of you that have been a part of the West Gym, if you're not playing a match, it's kind of a tough place to recruit to. So being able to have the opportunity to bring recruits into this beautiful facility and show the support that we have from our administration by being able to compete in this facility. The other thing is, it's just really become a home away from home for our players. So just not besides the great atmosphere that we get to play in, but they actually can spend time here. The West Gym was not a place that you really wanted to go to unless you had practice or a match. So being able to have the kind of locker room that you want to spend time in.
I would have to say our locker room is the best in our conference. And when recruits go in there, their eyes open up. I always tell them this funny story is when we were at the West Gym, we literally would never show a recruit the locker room. And now it's the last thing we show them. It's that lasting impression we want them to have. And it's not that we want them to commit here because we have great locker rooms, but it's all about amenities for student athletes. And you can't ask for much more than what we have down there for men's basketball, volleyball, and ourselves.
The McLeod Center has delivered a huge home court advantage for Panther teams. Men's basketball has won nearly 80% of their home games. Women's basketball is better than 65%. And volleyball wins more than 80% of the time they play at home. It shows the power of larger crowds, combined with an intimate and electric atmosphere, can certainly factor into the home court advantage. And it adds to the mystique of playing in the McLeod Center.
The size certainly is something, our Iowa State game when we brought Maryland in here, some of those games, you get up to 3,000, 4,000 people. But the other nice thing that I like is when you do have 2,000 people, it they can make a difference, you know, because it's so compact and every seat's a good seat, and the design of it, the architecture of it, you know, no concourse, so you're at the concessions, you can still hear the game, look down, see the game. I think that makes the McLeod Center very unique. I know that I would put it up against any place that we play in the conference. If you take a look at size and locker room and location and everything, it's a great place to play.